Chuck Schumer let one slip, saying COVID was horrible. Before we talk about it, here's the clip.
Everywhere you look, because of global warming, things are getting worse and worse. And I tell my constituents in New York, COVID was horrible. But if we do nothing on climate, starting within a few short years from now, each year will be worse than COVID, and each year will be worse than the previous year.
There's two interesting bits to this clip, and I really think Chuck Schumer messed up here. And the first bit is when he said COVID was horrible, as if it's not that bad anymore. And I think he's right. Let's get into that. Mask mandates are popping back up around the United States. New York has instituted a vaccine passport to do pretty much anything indoors. COVID is making a comeback, but Schumer says was bad. And I agree, again. Here's what we know. We know the Delta variant is the prevalent strain of COVID at this point. We also know that the death rate is extremely low, which brings up the question, why do we have to act like COVID is killing, thousands of people every day when it's not even close to that? That's why Chuck Schumer said COVID was horrible. It was. It's not anymore. So Chuck Schumer did mess up saying COVID was horrible, but you can now see the pivot that they're taking. And I do want to say that I called this months ago. I put out a video saying that when COVID kind of calmed down, they were going to pivot to climate change and then use COVID as an example of how we as a society can take drastic action to fight something that could kill everyone. And the drastic action we took was ridiculous, and it should not be an example. It should be an example of what we don't do, and the pivot's coming. The Delta variant is giving them a bit more time, but the pivot's coming, and it's to climate change. Chuck Schumer says that in a few years, climate change is going to be worse than COVID ever was, and it's going to get worse and worse after that. So that means they are saying that in a few years, hundreds of thousands of people are going to die from climate change. That could literally be the craziest thing Chuck Schumer's ever said. And in the past, Chuck Schumer said he might eat Tide Pods because they look like candy. It kind of seems like Chuck Schumer just spews a bunch of bullshit. Us out there that want to protect liberty, we failed during COVID. And I failed. I was scared. I never supported the lockdowns. I thought that was crazy. But I will admit that I was very scared of COVID. I am not scared of climate change, and we have to get it right this time. Us that believe in liberty, us that believe in freedom, we cannot let this happen with climate change. We cannot let them use climate change as a reason to do what they did with COVID. This could be the most important fight of our lives. It really could be. Chuck Schumer has revealed their hand. Now that COVID is kind of fading, even though they're trying to push it one more time, they're going to pivot to climate change, and they're going to say it's much, much worse. If you like this video, share it. We need to get the message out that they want to use climate change to do what they did with COVID. We cannot let it happen again. We have to protect freedom. So this is Andy with the Heartland Institute, bringing you more from climaterealism.com. Go to climaterealism.com. Every day we post articles where we highlight stories in the media that are just ridiculous. We recently put up an article where NPR claimed that both Google and Facebook are going to be drowned due to rising sea levels. So there's some funny stuff on there. I would check it out. Share this video. Get ready for the fight. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and consider donating to the Heartland Institute to support more vibrant free markets, greater individual liberties, and more videos like this one.